another episode of my 4-Foot Friday, where today we'll be talking about Carmelo Anthony and how the trade talks have stopped between the Rockets and the New York Knicks. So this is very big news because of the fact that Carmelo Anthony, he was thought to have, maybe he was going to go to the Rockets, but it turns out that's wrong. He's not going to the Rockets. He's going to stay with New York. But maybe this video might change the GM's mind. I'm going to have an example of what I think is a good trade between the New York Knicks, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Houston Rockets. So, why am I adding a team like the Hawks in? Well, the Rockets need to clear salary cap. And I don't think the Rockets are going to give, Ryan Anderson to the New York Knicks because the New York Knicks don't want to play Kristaps Porzingis at that center position. So, and because you obviously have, to add to that point, you have your center of the future in Willie Hernangomez, and you also have Kyle O'Quinn. But we'll get later on what happens to Kyle O'Quinn with this trade. So, first, we're going to talk about what's happening with the Knicks, the Hawks, and the Rockets. Well, the Knicks, who are they going to get? The Knicks are going to get Kent Bazemore, Tim Quarterman, and Sean Long. Bazemore from the Hawks, Quarterman from the Rockets, Long from the Rockets. So Bazemore is earning $16.9 million for 3 years from the Atlanta Hawks. And when you're giving away a player that's $26.2 million, you have to get a player in return that's $16.9 million, or else a team's going to be over the cap limit. Because obviously if you give Carmelo to the Rockets are over the cap limit, so they have to give a player to the Hawks. But then the Hawks are going to be over the cap limit, so they have to give a player to the Knicks. That's just how the cap system works in the NBA today. So, Bazemore, great player for the Knicks. If they're trying to dump Carmelo Anthony, they're actually, with this move, Bazemore is making, $17 million? Anthony's making, $26 million? So the fact is they're going to be saving about $9 million with this trade. And then you're getting Tim Quarterman and Sean Long, which is Tim Quarterman, a great player, cheap player, and both of these players are young in age. They still have potential. And, Tim Quarterman coming off the bench, behind Tim Hardaway Jr. So we'd actually get to see, how does Tim Quarterman do in a big city in New York. That's kind of a step up from Houston going to a big city in New York. And then you have Sean Long. I haven't actually heard that much of him, but he's a good young player to build around. The Rockets, they're getting rid of a lot of bench players with these trades, which is the only problem. However, if you're getting a player in return like Carmelo Anthony, you can always pick up veteran bench players that want to win a championship from the free agency pool. So this move, if it wants to happen, it should happen quite quickly, or else you're going to have to pick up those free agents that want to win the championship. You're going to have to pick them up in free agency during the season, and that's when there's not as much as big free agents out there, veteran free agents, in fact. Atlanta Hawks, what would they get in this trade? They would get Ryan Anderson, Chineyau Onuaku, and Isaiah Taylor. Great move for them. They lost Paul Millsap. They need a stretch four to replace him. Get Ryan Anderson. He's one of the best stretch fours. Probably, I'd say, second best stretch four in the league besides Kevin Love. So you have Ryan Anderson, which is a fantastic replacement for your Paul Millsap. And then you're getting a Chineyau. You're getting Onuaku. And that's a great young player to build around, build behind Ryan Anderson and maybe even play Ryan Anderson at power forward, Chineyau Onuaku at center. And then you obviously don't have that big salary anymore in Kent Bazemore. However, you are getting a salary in Ryan Anderson. However, think about this if you're the Hawks. They both have 3-year deals. Would you rather have Kent Bazemore for 3 years or Ryan Anderson for 3 years? Personally, me, I choose Ryan Anderson just because of his ability to shoot the three and the fact that the NBA is evolving into more of a three-point shootout almost, as two-pointers sometimes don't even have worth to the NBA at times. The fact that the Warriors are the best 3-point shooting team, and look where that brought them. They won the championship. And then they're getting Isaiah Taylor, who's a good backup of Dennis Schroeder. If they don't already want to start someone else with that backup point guard, he's probably, he's a D-League player. He's that type of player, but maybe he can break out at some point during his career. I don't know. But the Rockets, they're getting 2 great players, 1 bench player, so they are getting some bench back. They're getting Carmelo Anthony from the Knicks, and they're also getting Kyle O'Quinn for the Knicks. So this move, it's more, you're getting Carmelo, but you're also getting Kyle O'Quinn, and this is why I think it would really benefit the Rockets team, because of the fact that Kyle O'Quinn, he's with Willie Hernangomez and Joakim Noah, he's not getting as much playing time as he would like with the Knicks, but moving to the Rockets, where they're losing some of their bench players, even losing Ryan Anderson to this deal, losing Chinua Onuaku. They also have Trevor Ariza. They have those type of players that can benefit the team. They also have the center, Clint Capella. That's his name. So you have Clint Capella, but you need someone really to back up him because they've lost Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard was the best center for the Rockets when he played there. And so with Kyle O'Quinn, he's a good backup for your Clint Capella, Clint Capella is a very good underrated player, and he could do stuff with this team would be great. You'd have Eric Gordon, Chris Paul, James Harden, Carmelo, and Clint Capella. And Clint Capella would be obviously almost like the JaVale McGee type, where he's underrated for what he gives to the game. So I think that everyone wins in this trade. The Knicks, they're giving away Carmelo, they're giving away Kyle O'Quinn, but they're also getting Kent Bazemore, Tim Quarterman, Sean Long, and this is obviously the good deal for them because this makes so they can tank the next season afterwards, get a high draft pick, maybe get the number 1 pick, and if Michael Porter's the number 1 pick at that time, you can draft for Michael Porter. And then the Hawks, they're getting Ryan Anderson, Chinua Onuaku, Isaiah Taylor for Kent Bazemore. So it really works for them because of the fact that they're getting a really good young player in Onuaku, and they're also getting Ryan Anderson, who I think is even better than Kent Bazemore. So you're getting a better player than what you're giving away, and then you're also getting 2 young players that can really turn into good players, especially Onuaku, and we also have to see how Taylor does as point guard. And then the Rockets, they're getting Carmelo Anthony, they're getting Kyle O'Quinn, but the problem with them is they're giving away a lot of depth, I have to admit. They're giving away Tim Quarterman, Sean Long, Ryan Anderson, Chinua Onuaku, and Isaiah Taylor, so maybe they get a 2nd-round pick from the Knicks or whatnot. Maybe the Knicks get a 2nd-round pick from the Rockets. I'm not sure how picks would play out if this works. The Hawks, I think, would probably benefit the most from this. Then the Rockets, then the Knicks. The Knicks, I think, probably benefit the most if it's in terms of losing games because they're going to lose 10 games with this move being done because of the fact that Carmelo, he wins games for you. And with him out of New York, you don't have that player really to win games besides Porzingis, and you really need a second player besides Porzingis considering how young Porzingis is. So we just have to see how this plays out, though. I think everyone wins. The one main thing, though, is that the Rockets are losing depth. But you're getting Carmelo, you're getting Kyle O'Quinn, so you're getting more depth, more good depth, too, because Kyle O'Quinn is a very good player with a $4.1 million year salary for 2 years. So I think everything's good in this trade. Everyone wins. And that's it for today in terms of this video. So thank you all for listening to my 4-foot nut and the 4-foot Friday today. And thank you for watching. Have an excellent 4-foot Friday, and I'll see you next time. Bye.